everyone, this is Crystal, and today I am working on another 12 by 12 layout using the May Life Crafted Journeys Life Crafted kit from Citrus Twist Kits, along with the scrapbook add-on and the stamp add-ons as well. So I have a photo here of Jessie in our backyard looking at a beautiful rainbow in the sky, and then I have a sheet of white cardstock. This is the same cardstock that comes in the scrapbook add-on. I've trimmed this down to 11 inches by 11 inches because I want to use this beautiful rainbow paper from the scrapbook add-on kit to mat my entire layout. So that is my plan. That's where I'm starting. Beyond that, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this layout. I'm just going to have some fun and play with all of the beautiful supplies in these kits and all of the gorgeous colors in this rainbow paper. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is gut this rainbow paper because I do not want to waste any of it. It is absolutely beautiful. And the other side is very usable as well, so I know that I don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to use my trimmer and trim out basically leave a 1-inch border around the edge, and then I can adhere that white cardstock that I already trimmed down. I can just adhere that to the outside using some tape runner, just super simple. You could stitch it at this point. I do often do that, but for this one, I just decided to leave it as is. And the next thing I'm going to do is mat my photos. So I want to bring in some of the colors in that rainbow paper to the mats behind my photo. I also want to tie in some of the colors that are actually in my photo. So I'm just working out which of these papers look best behind my photo and in what order. I really like this yellow paper because it does bring out a lot of the yellow tones that are in my photo, and this was kind of a golden hour photo, so it is very warm in tone. And then I also grabbed that green floral paper from the kit because it also brings out a lot of the colors in the photo and ties them into that rainbow paper as well, since a lot of the colors are repeated in that paper. But I felt like it needed a bit of something else between those two, between the patterned yellow and the patterned green paper. So I grabbed the other cardstock from the kit, and I'm going to do a layer of that. I did add some foam behind my photo to lift it up off the page a little bit. And then my tape runner totally tore the back of this paper. I'm not sure. It's never really done that before. So I had to grab some double-sided tape to adhere that down to this green paper. But it was no big deal. It was the back side that tore, so you will never even know that happened. And then because I had foam behind my photo, I had to just use my scissors to trim that out, but it's pretty easy to get it straight when you have another piece of paper there that you can just cut in line with. Okay, so the only other thing that I knew I wanted to do on this page at this point was the title. So I wanted to use these Stamp Market alphas that were in the add-on kit to spell out rainbow. And I was thinking just rainbow would be my title at this point. And I really love these alphas. I love the size and the font, but they are a pain to get off the sheet. I struggled to get them off. Either they aren't cut well, so yeah, either the entire backing wants to come off with it or it doesn't want to come off at all. Yeah, so it was a labor of love to get all of these alpha stickers off of the sheet and ready to use for a title. And now that I have my title on my Thickers alignment tool, that's that clear ruler that you see, I can kind of play around with where it's going to go on the page and figure out how I want to lay out the rest of my page. So I did grab this puffy sticker sheet, and at this point I was thinking maybe I would do hello rainbow, and then I realized there's a bunch of other green things on here. Maybe I can embellish by color, like add color groups on the page. I knew that there was some green in the Life Crafted kit as well, so I grabbed a few things from that, and I'm going through the acetate speech bubbles from the add-on kit to see if there are any here that would work, and I'm just setting those aside. So at this point, I'm starting to think about embellishing in color blocks. And maybe creating a rainbow on my page. And I was thinking about doing it kind of down that center column where my photo is. And so I'm just picking out all the things that are in the rainbow colors that are in that rainbow pattern paper in the background. But then I realized it's definitely not going to work to do it down the center of the page. I wouldn't be able to get very many embellishments, not enough to make it a clear rainbow. So I decide to move my photo over to the left-hand side and to start creating a rainbow of embellishments down the right-hand side of the page. So I know that I want my title to be towards the middle of the page, so that's kind of where I start, and that way I can leave myself room to add the yellow and red and pink above it, and the green and kind of teal and blue below it. I'm just going to look through the rest of the embellishments from the Life Crafted kit to find other items that are in these colors that will work to fill out the rest of this rainbow. So I looked through the ephemera pack from the kit. This is the set of tags. It's a digital printable from the shop that coordinates with the kit. And then I'm also looking through what I have left from the freebie that was offered on National Scrapbook Day. It is now available in the digital shop, and I pulled a couple things from that. I'm basically just going through all of the things that I have that were released this month, whether digital or physical. Here are the cut-aparts, the digital cut-aparts that coordinate with the Journeys Life Crafted kit, and I pull a couple things from that as well, just finding all the things I can that are in these colors, and working out how many I'm going to have and how many I can fit on this page. And then finally I grabbed the Amy Tangerine thickers that were in the scrapbook add-on, and I know that I'll be able to fill in a lot of the empty spaces with things from that sheet, because there are a ton of little foam thickers on that sheet, and they are in the same colors. Of course, it's the same collection as that background rainbow paper, so they will work together very well, and I can use that to fill in all the spaces. So I'm using that and then just building my rainbow as I go down. I'm starting with pink at the top, then kind of transitioning to red. There were a couple things that had both pink and red on them, so I'm trying to keep those kind of in the center of the two. And then working down to yellow. There isn't a lot of orange here, so I kind of skip over orange and just go straight to yellow. I guess that makes it not a true rainbow, but it works. And you definitely get that rainbow feel from the page, so I'm not too worried about it being exact. I'm making sure that my title is going to fit right where I want it. So I want it to be kind of towards the bottom edge of my photo, kind of in the middle of the page, vertically that is. So went ahead and stuck that down before I stick too many other things and don't give myself room to add my title. And then again, just adding all those things back in that I already picked out that are in those rainbow colors. So the rest of this video is pretty much going to be me just trying to figure out how to fit all these things in, making sure everything gets stuck down, making sure all the little spaces are filled up on this right hand side. I'm also going to bring in my T-square ruler here in a little bit, just so I can make sure that I don't cross over that middle line of the page. I want to make sure that I stick to the right hand 6 inches of the page, and that my embellishments don't kind of overflow, except for my title, as you'll see here in a little bit. Yeah, just trying to fill in all the spaces and make that feel like as much of a complete rainbow as possible. So I just added that rainbow arrow to the top, and that obviously matches the background paper very well. I don't keep that there. I end up moving it. It didn't feel right to have the rainbow at the top when everything else is in rainbow order. So you'll see how I fix that here in a second. I did add a couple of those little rainbow thickers. They aren't exactly, they're not one color, but they're definitely like one is all reds and yellows and oranges, and one's all blues and greens. So it seemed to work pretty well on either half of the page. And oh, I was seeing if those acetate pieces, the speech bubbles from Pinkfish Studio, I was seeing if they had a protective film on them, like some acetate pieces do. I couldn't get one off, so I don't think that they do. I think that they're just as they are. I could have sworn that they did, that I saw somebody else say that they did, but yeah, nothing was coming off for me. So yeah, maybe I just didn't try hard enough. But anyway, I struggled with how to get those adhered, and the best way I found to stick them down, because they're too big for the tiny Xyron machine that I have, which would be my first choice, but they don't fit through that. So I grabbed a glue pen. This is an EK Success glue pen, and just added adhesive kind of behind the writing. And because it's wet adhesive, it all just kind of smushes out when you stick it down, and you definitely can't see it. I cannot see the adhesive at all, and so far it has stuck very well to the page. So if you're wondering how the best way to get these down, obviously you can staple. If you have a larger Xyron machine, that would work very well. But I've also found that the liquid glue pen has worked very well to stick these down for me. Okay, so I think most everything is stuck to the page now. I can finish out my title. I decided to add that high that was in the rainbow colors in front of my rainbow title, and then I moved that arrow down there, which it makes much more sense in that spot than it did up above. So it's kind of a weird title, I guess. It's kind of high rainbow, which is, I don't know, not something I would really say, I guess, but I like the way it looks, and I think you get the gist of it. So it is what it is. Okay, so I do want to add the date, and instead of using a date stamp, I could have used a date stamp on one of those labels that I've used throughout the rainbow, but I wanted the date to be more prominent, so I am going to use the puffy alpha stickers from the Life Crafted kit. It also works well. It adds more teal to the page. So I'm going to use those to just write out the date just below my title, just using my T-square to make sure that it's straight, because I cannot get anything straight without that ruler. And then I'm just figuring out if there's anything else I want to add. There are a few blank spaces in my kind of embellishment cluster. I'm going to come back in with some stamps here in just a second and kind of fill in some of those spaces by stamping in the color that coordinates with that area. I do use a couple of the enamel dots at the top. I think only the pink ones really worked for this page, but that fills in a few spots up there. And then here is where I start to grab the stamp sets. So I think I use all three. I'm going to stamp some things in the labels. I'm going to stamp some things just directly onto the page to fill in the blank spaces. And like I said, I'm using inks that match the rainbow colors that I have on the page. So stamping that little camera stamp from the This Is Life in an ink from scrapbook.com. I think it's Pink Lemonade. And then I'm looking for other things I can use to fill in the spaces. So I'm just going to do that here for a little bit. I do add a couple more things to the page before I completely finish. So I felt like that Shine Bright rainbow piece that I added to the top of my photo, I felt like it was just kind of hanging out there a little bit too much. Like it needed something beneath it to ground it a little bit more to the page. So I go into the Life Crafted kit and I find a piece of pink paper to add over there. There wasn't any pink really behind my photo or in that area of the page, so I felt like adding some pink there kind of brought in all of the colors that are on the right hand side of the page. So I just tear a little piece of paper and stick it kind of behind the layers of my photo, and it extends over behind that Shine Bright circle and kind of makes it feel like it belongs a little bit better than it appears to at this particular moment. So I'm still stamping all the things in all the places on this page. I don't have a lot of ink colors. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I recently went through and swatched all of my ink pads, which was an excellent exercise because it made me realize what I do have, and I didn't realize how much I had really prior to that. But I don't have a huge variety, so when it comes to matching very specific colors, I kind of just have to go with what I have, and that honestly worked just fine. So I didn't need to have the exact color of yellow or the exact color of green. What I had works just fine. It's still green. It still works on the page. You can still get the gist of this being a rainbow. So, yeah, I think I have successfully convinced myself that I don't have to buy all the inks. So that is good for my bank account. Okay, so again, just filling in all the little spaces. There are so many good stamps on the sets this month. I added that little scallop stamp there to fill in a little spot in the blue area or the teal area. Just looking again for anything else that might work. There is a little what a view stamp that I add behind my title to fill in that blank spot. I just want this whole column to feel full. So just trying to use stamps to fill in all those little empty spaces. Okay, so here is where I go back to the Life Crafted kit to find something that will work behind that Shine Bright. You can see I did look through the journal cards thinking maybe I could punch a circle, or I could add just another layer over there on that side of the photo. But here is where I decide to use this pink paper, and you saw me just tear a little piece off, and then I will stick it down behind the layers of my photo right there on the left-hand side. And then I will add a few lines below my photo next to my title for my journaling, which I will handwrite off camera. I think the only other thing I do off camera, I do add another stamp. Once I've finished writing my journaling, it felt like it needed something else in black, since I did write my journaling in black. So I did take I think it's the Breathtaking stamp from I believe the Day Trippin' stamp set, and I do stamp that a couple times just below where I write my journaling. But you'll see that in the close-up photos, which are coming up next. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you found some inspiration for using your kits this month. If you haven't already picked up the kits, I will link everything down below. Everything I've used here was part of the May release from Citrus Twist Kits, so you'll find it all on their website. Thanks again for watching. If you did like this video, I do appreciate a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing and that I should do more of it. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you back here soon.